SpaceX has just revealed a major update to its Starship Human Landing System, HLS, the version of Starship that will one day land NASA astronauts on the Moon under the Artemis program. This isn't just another design tweak, it's a fundamental upgrade that could redefine how Starship lands, stays stable, and takes off again on the lunar surface. And yes, Elon Musk has finally confirmed that the next-generation Starship HLS is almost ready, featuring brand-new landing legs, advanced thruster systems, and a bold plan to turn Starship into the most versatile lander ever built. Let's break down exactly what's new, why SpaceX made these changes, and how it all fits into Musk's long-term vision for Moon and Mars landings. Back in 2021, NASA selected SpaceX's Starship as the Human Landing System, HLS, for the Artemis 3 mission, the first crewed lunar landing since Apollo 17 in 1972. The plan: NASA's Orion spacecraft will carry astronauts to lunar orbit, and there, they'll transfer to Starship HLS for descent and landing on the Moon's surface. After a week of tension between SpaceX and NASA, things have taken an unexpected turn. The private company quickly released a series of updates on the HLS program, clear proof that Starship's development is still right on schedule. The challenge isn't just in developing new technologies like orbital refueling or reusable boosters. It's in mastering the simple yet perilous act of landing a skyscraper-sized rocket on an alien world. Recently, Musk once again revealed ambitious plans for Starship that could challenge NASA's decisions and possibly become the key to America's success on the lunar surface. The biggest news now is that SpaceX has officially revealed the new landing leg design for the lunar Starship. Previous prototypes had only placeholder legs hidden within the skirt section, but the new system is a total redesign. Lunar and Martian surfaces are rough, unpredictable, and covered in dust and rock. Any rocket hoping to touch down safely will need to stand on its own. That's where landing legs come in. SpaceX already has deep experience in this area. The Falcon 9's carbon fiber and aluminum honeycomb legs have proven themselves hundreds of times both on land and at sea. The legs now extend outward further from the base of the rocket, giving Starship much more stability on the uneven lunar surface. This is crucial since the Moon's terrain can be rocky, dusty, and full of small craters. SpaceX engineers have added a crush core and hydraulic damping system that absorbs landing impact and stabilizes Starship after touchdown. Every extra kilogram devoted to structure is one less for fuel or payload. Engineers are still studying just how many legs Starship will need. Some designs suggest 6. Others perhaps 8. The reason is stability. Unlike the drone ships that Falcon 9 lands on the Moon offers no guarantee of a flat surface. The legs can automatically adjust their length independently, allowing Starship to remain level even if it lands on a slope, similar to how a tripod camera balances on uneven ground. Unlike Apollo's LM or Falcon 9's fold-out legs, these are built into the base of Starship's structure, deploying outward in one synchronized motion to minimize mass and complexity. Elon Musk hinted that these upgrades make the Starship HLS the most stable large spacecraft ever built for off-world landing. Each one must deploy, lock, and retract flawlessly. A single jammed hinge could end a mission. And because there's no ground crew on the Moon or Mars, every operation must be autonomous and fail-safe. Then there's the problem of the engines themselves. The Raptor engines are incredibly powerful. We've already seen them pulverize a reinforced concrete pad in Texas. On the Moon, where there's no atmosphere to slow debris, plumes could blast rocks and dust directly into the vehicle's stainless steel skin, or into sensors, or even ricochet into the engine bells themselves. All of this highlights one of SpaceX's biggest hurdles with Starship HLS. Landing on the Moon and Mars isn't optional for Elon Musk's long-term vision of a multiplanetary future. It's essential. That makes solving the landing challenge one of SpaceX's highest priorities. Adding landing legs comes with an unavoidable cost. More structure means more mass. But SpaceX seems willing to accept that trade. For missions beyond Earth, stability and crew safety outweigh almost everything else. Engineers are already looking for ways to minimize the penalty. Another idea involves crush cores, essentially built-in shock absorbers. They're designed to deform slightly on impact, soaking up the final jolt of touchdown and protecting the vehicle's structure from excessive stress. Back on Earth, SpaceX can take advantage of its Mechazilla Tower and rapid reuse philosophy. Even if lunar or Martian missions carry less payload per flight, faster turnaround times and lower overall launch costs can balance the equation over the long term. And it's worth noting not every Starship will have to make the return trip. NASA's Human Landing System version, for example, is expected to serve as a one-way lunar lander. That gives engineers more flexibility. They can afford to make the legs heavier, stronger, and more specialized for the moon since they don't have to worry about bringing that extra mass home. To keep Starship upright during touchdown, SpaceX has been experimenting with deploying several widely spaced landing legs that fold neatly against the rocket's body during ascent, then swing outward and lock into place just before landing. For SpaceX to maintain its position, the company will need to accelerate Starship's progress. Yet faster development alone will not be enough. What has always set Starship apart is its extraordinary potential, the very reason NASA originally selected it for Artemis. If SpaceX can demonstrate that potential convincingly, Starship could still outshine every rival and secure its role in humanity's return to the moon. Musk's response reflects a critical shift in strategy for lunar exploration. Reaching the moon first is no longer the ultimate goal. Unlike the Apollo era, this new race is not about planting a flag and returning home, it's about staying. The focus has moved from short-term achievement to long-term presence. The new objective is to establish a permanent lunar base, develop resources, and begin the early steps of building an off-world civilization. But here's the thing, it doesn't really matter who's backing Musk, or how powerful his influence is. At the end of the day, both he and SpaceX still need to prove that Starship HLS is actually making real progress and staying on schedule. And when asked which vehicle can make this long-term lunar vision possible, the answer points clearly to Starship. Starship is unlike any spacecraft humanity has ever built. Even in its early forms, it towers over traditional rockets and landers. Standing over 50 meters tall and 9 meters in diameter, Starship is immense, and future versions such as the version 3 and version 4 are expected to be even larger. This vast scale allows SpaceX to dedicate an enormous internal volume to cargo, estimated at more than 1,000 cubic meters, which is greater than the total pressurized volume of the International Space Station. With this capacity, Starship HLS can carry more than 100 tons of payload, including supplies, scientific equipment, and even large-scale construction materials. Other versions could potentially double that capacity to 200 tons. In practical terms, a single Starship HLS flight could deliver as much cargo as dozens of smaller landers combined. This capability would dramatically accelerate lunar exploration, enabling early missions to carry not just astronauts, but the tools and materials needed to build a lasting presence. More importantly, Starship's immense capacity supports the creation of a lunar base almost immediately after the first landing, instead of requiring dozens or even hundreds of smaller missions to ferry equipment piece by piece. A handful of Starship flights could establish the foundation of a large and functional lunar habitat. The construction of a fully equipped base, complete with power systems, laboratories, and living quarters, could unfold within just a few missions. Because without real progress, all that support means nothing. The number and placement of windows seemed off way too many at multiple heights, and even overlapping. So, the more likely explanation is that this is just a manufacturing test article, a mock-up to study how to cut and reinforce window openings in stainless steel. But then again, if it's just a test piece, why would they reinforce the openings with metal bars like that? Either way, it's a clear sign that SpaceX is actively working on HLS hardware, right in the middle of all this NASA drama. This isn't the first time SpaceX has dropped clues like this. They've done it before, several times actually. It literally had a sign on it that read HLS airlock. The design looked super modern, compact and functional. Clearly built with a refined approach to how astronauts will access the lunar surface. That same module appeared almost identical to the one seen integrated into the nose cone of the HLS prototype at Starbase in 2024. Another standout feature is the window layout. The crew module will have reinforced rectangular or square windows, designed to give astronauts the best possible view, while still protecting against micrometeorite impacts. With all that combined, the HLS isn't just a lander, it's practically a small lunar base of its own, reflecting SpaceX's long-term vision of establishing a permanent human foothold on the Moon. The HLS will also be equipped with 2 docking ports for orbital refueling, a crucial step. That'll allow it to carry enough propellant to safely reach and land on the lunar surface. But this is no easy task. SpaceX will have to prove they can pull off something that's never been done at this scale before, transferring tons of cryogenic fuel between 2 massive spacecraft in orbit. It's one of the biggest technical hurdles left to overcome, and it'll define how the next year plays out for the company, and whether Artemis 3 can really launch in 2027. And guess what? SpaceX just gave us a clue about when they plan to attempt that first orbital refilling test. With the new landing leg design, advanced thrusters, and Elon Musk's ambitious roadmap, Starship HLS is rapidly becoming the most capable spacecraft ever built for planetary landings. If successful, this will mark the beginning of a new era of human exploration, not just returning to the Moon, but building the foundation for humanity's next step toward Mars.
And that's about it for today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and that's all for today's update. If you enjoyed watching and found it useful, please make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. And if you want to support our channel and if you want to be up to date, you can become an exclusive member, so click on our perks through the link in the description below. Thanks to watching and see you next time.